Which parts of an NFL offense are sustainably effective, and which parts will collapse as soon as the defense starts making plays? To answer this question, I created an equation to track the pure offensive success, listed as O sub S, of each team, and compare the corresponding outputs to the actual points scored of every team over the course of the 2025 NFL season. The equation is a tool that NFL coordinators and coaches can use to identify which area of their offense, passing, rushing, or receiving, is scoring points off broken tackles and lucky bounces or not, predict a regression or improvement, and use that prediction to inform things like personnel decisions moving forward. The model uses 6 per play inputs: completed air yards per attempt and bad throw percentage for quarterbacks, yards before catch and drop percentage for receivers, and yards before contact per rush for running backs. Those combine into a base score, then get multiplied by red zone efficiency and third down conversion rate, measures of how often offenses finish drives. To understand why the model is built this way, we need to look at the history of offensive prediction. Since the founding of the National Football League in the 1920s, rule changes such as fewer penalties for passing plays and even a changed shape of the football has led to successful modern NFL offenses passing more often than running the ball, which is why the model weighs passing at a 2-to-1 rate compared to rushing. Historically, the lack of available and detailed statistical data has made it difficult to establish consistent, accurate predictive models. One study from 2016 used offensive statistics such as the difference in offensive yards per game to predict game outcomes. They compared their method to a baseline prediction that simply selected the team with the better record to win the game, and found that their model predicted game winners with an average accuracy of 63.4% versus the baseline's 54.3%. But per game differences can be skewed by very good or very bad games for any given team. Take the Dolphins' 70-20 win over the Broncos in 2023, where a 363-yard differential dwarfed a typical game. Predictive models also struggle with uncertainty. Reducible sources of uncertainty include circadian rhythm and travel time advantages. They matter, as a Harvard Medical School study found that West Coast teams beat the point spread against East Coast visitors nearly twice as often in night games, but data is scant and unverified, so it is not included in my model. What is included as an irreducible source of uncertainty is human error, like bad throws and drop passes. Miscues like these can be coached but never eliminated and thus are irreducible. With all this in mind, we can see that the model is actually pretty simple. Statistics go in, are applied to the formula, and an offensive success score comes out. Take the 2025 Cleveland Browns. After plugging in their offensive statistics, we can see that the Browns' offensive success score was 16.5644, 31st of 32 teams. They also finished 31st in points scored, so the model was dead on. Doing this for all 32 teams gives us this graph. Any team within the green band was within 5 spots of their points scored ranking according to their offensive success, which I consider a correct prediction. Using the graph, we can see that the model correctly predicted offensive performance for 21 of 32 teams, a rate of 65.62%. This was slightly higher than the yard differential model discussed earlier, and much higher than the 54.3% achieved by simply selecting the team with the better win-loss record. But the model really shines for teams outside the green band, like Pittsburgh. They were 15th in points, but their per-play components ranked dead last, meaning their 2025 points came from yards after contact, missed tackles, and run after catch. The model predicts that without retooling, Pittsburgh's scoring will regress. That prediction is exactly the kind of thing coaches and coordinators can act on if it's flagged early. Used this way, the O sub S model's misses aren't errors, they're warning signals for unsustainable offenses. For coordinators, this could be what it takes to convince them to start that exciting young rookie earlier in the offseason. To summarize, my model accounts for the pass-first era of NFL offense, the data skew of per-game models, and measurable human error. It doesn't account for opponent strength, weather, coaching changes, or injuries. That data is either unavailable or beyond this project's scope. Unfortunately, public communication surrounding predictive models like these, and the uncertainty that is rooted in them, is basically non-existent. Modern prediction markets like Kalshi offer odds for winners, but tell the public nothing about where these percentages come from. Slightly better are what are called power rankings, where a media outlet ranks each team from 1 to 32, and then provides a few qualitative sentences justifying that ranking. Still, these rankings could be improved by adding a likely rank range rather than a hard limit, and or adding notes about sources of roster uncertainty like unproven players or new coaches.